Hey guys, what's going on? My name is Bandit, and welcome to my Yu-Gi-Oh card collection. Yeah, this is a collection that I have. This is all the cards I could find at the moment. This is approximately 350 plus cards in here. And so yeah, I've been saving these things up for quite a long time. I only recently got back into it, and so I just brought out my whole collection. And surprisingly, some of these are in worse shape than I remember them, but whatever. It happens. So, what are we going to be doing for this video? Well, I'm going to first mount this camera so it's not wobbling all over the place. Give me a moment. And while I talk about what we're exactly going to be doing. Right now, you're going to be looking at some Spellcaster cards, because we are going to be building a Spellcaster deck. I'm doing this, well, because I kind of want to do something a little bit different. So, let's adjust this camera here so that you guys can see all the cards. There you go. So, hello. Hi, I have hands. They're dirty. Okay. What we have right now is a Spellcaster deck. And what you'd want to do when you're building a deck is you want to have a sort of theme behind it. And that theme is usually what type of monster it is. Like this one is Spellcaster. Like this one. See? This is like my favorite card of Spellcasters. Look at how strong that thing is. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. And it's limited edition. And I have two of them. See? Look at it. I got two. It's amazing. So, yeah. That's a thing. I think I got that from a movie or something. Anyway. The theme of this deck, other than Spellcasters, is you want to have what is it called? A point behind it. Like, it has to have a strategy. So, this deck, which is actually made from booster packs over many, many years. And it's kind of, and a few recent decks, actually. That's where I got most of these normal cards. And the thing about these Spellcasters is this deck is very well built to destroying the opponent, all of the opponent's spell and trap cards, and suppressing all their monsters by lowering attack. Like Sorcerer of Dark Magic, the best card in this deck, in terms of power, negates the activation of trap cards. So, that card, in of itself, like, you put that thing down, trap hole, doesn't do anything. And a couple other cards in here. Let's take a look. Right now, Spellcasters Yami, which boosts the attack and defense of all Fiend and Spellcasters. This is pretty much a must. Now, right now I have 37 cards in this deck. We're going to add a few more, and the rest are kind of, you could go either way. Most of the normal cards, you could pick whether or not you want to keep them. So, right now we have Yami in here. A very shiny and foil mystical Space Typhoon, destroys a spell or trap card. Spellbook of Power boosts the attack of Spellcasters. Wonder Wand does the exact same thing. Gaga Revenge, that's another theme in this deck, is Gaga cards. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing that completely right, but yeah. This is one of those new cards that I recently picked up, and it basically allows you to bring back any Gaga card that's in your graveyard. This thing lets them gain attack. Those same cards for every one that's on the field, which is great. Secret Sanctuary of the Spellcasters, ooh, shiny. And it basically stops summons and spell cards. Rush Recklessly, boost attack. That boosts all dark monsters. The majority of Spellcasters are dark, and the other half are kind of light and a little bit of a mix. But this card basically boosts all dark monsters' attack by 500. So even a card like Cosmo Queen over here would be more on par with something like Blue Eyes White Dragon. And Knight's Title. This is a special card. Oops, sorry, I'm not showing it. I gotta get used to looking at the camera. Sorry. Knight's Title. This is a shiny one too. Look at it. It's shiny. I really like the shiny foils. Now, what you could do would be add another Yami, or add another Mystic Plasma Zone, because these are both field spell cards, so you don't really want to lose these, but they're very likely to be targeted by an opponent who can take out spell cards. So, those are our 10 spell cards. Now, you can add more to them, or not. This is just basically telling you what could be essential for this particular strategy. Okay, for this one, we have a gold foil. Yes, I don't know if you saw it at the beginning, but I recently bought a premium gold pack, and I have a few packs of that, actually. This one stops all trap cards from working this turn. Shadow Spell basically reduces the attack of monsters, a common theme in this deck. And this one's shiny too. Disarmament is destroy all equipped spell cards, so you don't want to have any of those yourself, because this will destroy them. And Gyga's Shield, which stops any spellcaster type monster you control from being destroyed by battle. A comment, this is a very good strategy with this deck, is wearing down your opponent while also keeping your own monsters safe. You don't want to be just trading your own monsters when you could just be destroying theirs or stopping them from attacking, because, well, they're weaker. Because spellcasters are oftentimes not the most physically powerful. Or at least, not on the lower levels. When they get as strong as Sorcerer or Dark Magic, then yeah, they're pretty strong. Okay, so, for XYZ cards, this is a new thing, because I only recently got into it. We have Tri-Edged Leviathan. So I think it's supposed to be like Leviathan. This one's super shiny. This is also gold premium. And this one is one of the few non-spellcasters, or fiends. So it won't be affected at all by Yami. But what this card does really well is that it also reduces the attack of any monsters on the field. And it's not a bad attack for what it's got. It's only 3 level 3 monsters, so it's not too bad. Shining Elf does something very similar. Reduces the attack, but it reduces by 500 instead of 800. And pretty good attack, and it only requires 2 level 2 monsters. So it looks pretty cool. Reminds me of Sheik from Legend of Zelda a little bit. At least in the face. Maybe that's just me. And Slacker Magician. This card basically destroys or stops the effects of spell and trap cards. And is a very good wall. It's 2100 and only requires 2 level 1 monsters. Which, I don't exactly have a lot of level 1 monsters in here, but there is a strategy to that. And I'm going to get to that. Alright. So, now time for the powerhouse of this deck. Sorcerer Dark Magic. I have 2. They're limited edition. I don't even remember if people have these. These are from a movie. Yeah, you can see right there, like little code thing, movie, English 002. I don't remember what else came with it. I think it was called Wadapon or something like that. Oh, well, we have 2 of these. They just stop all trap cards from working, and they're very strong, but you have to sacrifice 2 level 6 or higher spellcaster type monsters. So they must be in a spellcaster type deck. Otherwise, you can't summon them any other way. Alright, so trap cards are basically taken care of with this guy. So late game trap cards, no problem. So this guy, when he's normal summoned, he kind of ups his own attack, and then he can also remove that added attack. Oops, sorry. You can remove that added attack and destroy 1 spell or trap card on the field. You see the theme behind this deck yet? And it's also a level 4, so it's very easy to put out really early on. This one's a tuner type monster. This is Effect Veiler. This is apparently a very good card to get. And it can be used to, you send it to your graveyard from your hand, and then you basically stop all face-up monsters' effects, which is pretty neat. Alright, this card is adversely affected by Yami. So, but it can be special summoned by just banishing light cards, which is that attribute up there. See, light and dark. You can banish 2 light cards from your graveyard, so you don't even need to sacrifice to bring this thing out. And it's not too bad. It can be brought out, though, from anything. I used to use this in my main deck, which is a dragon deck. I am very, very into the dragon decks, and they're just good. Alright, so and that one lowers the attack of all of your opponent's monsters. So, again, it wears down your opponent. So, you have out Cosmo Queen, which is a 2900 attack, and they have Blue Eyes or something out. You put this down, and suddenly, your card is stronger. So there you go. Makes up a little bit for their weakness. Karibo! This little adorable thing. Look at those eyes. They're like Pac-Man. Alright, so this card's not very good, but it has a nice ability where you could just kind of shove this out from your hand and not take any battle damage. But it's also a level 1, just like Effect Veiler, so it could be used to bring out Slacker Magician. So, those out of the way. Amours of Prophecy can be used to bring out a Spellbook card, which is that Spellbook of Power that boosts not magicians. It boosts the power of Spellcasters. And can also be used to special summon a level 4 or lower Spellcaster type, which is basically the rest of these effect cards. Old Vindictive Mage, or Magician, sorry. And target one monster, destroy it. And it's only a level 2, so it can be used to bring out Shining Elf. Magical Undertaker, and can be used to also special summon a spellcaster from your graveyard, which is great. This card is another one that's not at all affected by Yami, and this one can be used to bring out... This can be used to bring out itself, but special summoning it. Only if you control a dark monster, which a majority of this deck is dark. So you bring this thing out, then all of a sudden you can do it 2 sacrifices in 1 turn. That's a very good strategy that I use all the time. And this one, Gaga Child. That's such a weird thing to say. Like, Gaga. What the heck were they thinking with that? Oh well, this thing, it's very chibi. I like chibi. I'm a big fan of that. If you haven't noticed from Attack on Titan, I like chibi. And this card allows you to manipulate its level. And that's kind of cool. And I like that. So, it allows you to manipulate its level a little bit, so you could actually then use it for XYZ cards. Or Synchros, actually, if you use them. I currently don't have any Spellcaster type Synchros. I actually barely have any tuners, to be honest. Alright, this guy, Gaga Magician. Looks like Dark Magician, only looks a lot cooler, actually. And not as chibi, which is upsetting. And it's only level 4, so you can just bring it out whenever. And you can declare it as level 1 to 8, and it becomes that level. So, this one can be used for any of these 3. Any of these 3 right here. So, yeah. It just cannot be used for synchro material, which is understandable. And then there's Gaga Girl, looks exactly like Dark Magician Girl. Obviously, these are basically like weaker rip-offs, as you can see by the attack. And this one basically just allows you to manipulate stuff with XYZ cards. And we have one of my favorite cards, Dark Magician Knight. I don't know if you guys can read that. There you go. That should be better. Dark Magician Knight, a very, very shiny. I don't know what rarity these things are. Like, they have so many different rarities. Like, can't they... At least, like, Magic the Gathering does it right. Like, they have black, which is common, silver, uncommon, and then gold rare. And that's it. They make it easy. This, I think, was from one of the games. If I remember right, that's Reshef of Destruction. It's a Game Boy Advance game. Anyway, this thing basically needs to be summoned by Knight's Title, which is in there somewhere. I think it's at the bottom. And what you have to do... Well, this thing, actually, when you special summon it through that, it's essentially a ritual card. When you do that, you can destroy 1 card on the field, which can be used for anything. A monster, a field spell card, trap card, anything. And it's just as strong as a regular magician. The only downside is it's a warrior. However, you could use Mystic Plasma Zone, because he's a dark type. So, you put him at the same attack strength as Blue Eyes White Dragon, which is pretty cool. Alright, there's the effect monsters. Those are pretty much the essential cards you need in your deck. And, well, the rest you can kind of add in, like whatever you want. So these are the ones without effects. I kind of broke this up so it was easier to follow. Cosmo Queen, the strongest of the normal summoned ones, which is a 2900 attack, so it's only really a total of 150 points off from being exactly Blue Eyes White Dragon stats. Then you have Trance the Magic Swordsman, he's a pretty good card. Dark Magician, you'll need him for the Knight's Title. Maybe a Dark Magician Girl that's nice to add to it. I unfortunately do not. There's a shiny foil. 2 Neo the Magic Swordsman, pretty basic cards. Mystical Elf for that wall that you need right in the beginning of a match. And that I have 2 of each, and that makes 4 light cards. So that makes putting out the Spirit of Purity and Light very easy early on, once those cards are gone. So, now, what to add to the rest of the deck? Well, since Yami is able to, well, strengthen fiends as well, we're going to add a fiend. Now, you can add just about anything. The minimum that you need for tournaments is exactly 40 and a maximum of 60 for constructed decks. Alright, now here's one of my piles. This is like a 90 card pile, I think it is. A lot of beasts in here. Excuse me while I just sort through these really quickly. So now we're going to come up on a powerful fiend that we need. Summon Skull! You guys remember him. You guys remember him. You know you like him. He's kind of cool. And he's a dark type, so he's also positively affected by the Mystic Plasma Zone. So he is going in right over there. And if you want an anti-spellcaster card that's also a dark type, then Ryukoki is a very good card because it destroys any spellcaster type monster or warrior if you want an anti-warrior deck. This card's a good addition to it. It's a zombie though, so it's not really the greatest in a fiend or spellcaster deck. One thing you could also add, if I can find it, this card's pretty good because you can change the attribute of it. It's useful in a variety of decks. Now, if I could just find this card. Excuse me while I look through this. This is a very large pile of cards. And very interesting. What you could do would be to add something like the Toon cards, especially with Toon Summon Skull and Goblin Attack Force, but mostly with Toon Summon Skull. You could add that in there if you want to do direct damage, and you also want another Summon Skull because you could special summon these instead of regular. The downside is you need Toon World. Magic Jammer is a good one to add if you really want. It's a counter trap card, so it goes before anything else. Actually, let's add that in. I didn't know about that before. Monster Reborn is a limited card, so you're only allowed one. However, it's very useful for something like Effect Veiler, which I only have one of, so then I could, after Slacker Magician is destroyed by using it, then use Monster Reborn and bring back Effect Veiler so I can use its effect again. So, we're going to put that in there, and that leaves just one more card. Now, what could you ever want? This is a good trap card. This card actually lowers the defense of any attacking monster. So, then, yeah, you can, if, say, a Blue Eyes White Dragon attacks your Summoned Skull, you lower its attack by 700. And suddenly, your Summoned Skull has just killed a Blue Eyes White Dragon. Good for him. Yay! Alright. So that's basically a deck. Yeah, that's a deck. You can pretty much add anything else you want. These things don't count to be in your deck, so these are in your extra deck, which I never really knew what the point of that was beforehand. I don't know. I still kind of don't. So, yeah. That's just great and all. Since I got still a little bit more time on this video, I only got like half an hour, so I'm just going to waste time now. So, that's your Magician deck that's basically built to destroy spell and trap cards and suppress enemy monsters with high power. It's a very good strategy to use, especially since spellcasters are strong, but they're not the strongest. So, you can use it for a variety of different things, though. But this is for that particular strategy. And to be honest, I'm actually going to be looking at certain tournaments for Yu-Gi-Oh cards, actually. Because I think I'm getting really good. I'm not going to be playing with this deck, because this actually has cards in it that I don't exactly own yet. These are a couple of these, like Triads Levia is my friend, so I'm not going to be playing with this deck. I need to play around with it a little bit more. So let me show you guys my actual deck. Give me a moment. And if I could just get this thing off. There we go. Okay. Awesome. Alright. Now, what I also run, I also recently made a warrior deck. And as you can see, like, the flagship card of that is Blackluster Soldier right here. Let's see if I can get that straight. There we go. Blackluster Soldier, essentially a Blue Eyes White Dragon. And I like to use a lot of card sleeves for my good decks. I only recently made this one, though. So, this one could use a little bit of hands-on use. So, now here's my prize deck. Let's turn it sideways. That doesn't work. I thought, like, oh, let's like make the card take up the whole thing. Oh wait, YouTube doesn't do that. All right, this is a new foil card, and below it is my ultimate card. I have a Blue Eyes White Dragon, and a ultra rare or secret rare, I don't know which. One Blue Eyes White Dragon, another old one, and a third, and polymerization. This card right here is my flagship card right now. So, yeah, this card is amazing, and it's really good. The Dragon deck focuses a lot on raw power. So you're going to have a lot of high damaging of cards like this thing. Oops. There you go. Like this thing. I'm going to mount this camera again. Excuse me a moment while I do this. There we go. Okay. And get in there. You stupid thing. I don't know how cameras work. Excuse me a minute. There we go. Alright. I'm just stupid. So, this is basically my whole dragon deck. And the Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. 3 Blue Eyes cards. Polymerization. 1 Fiend that does not belong in there. Actually, this is not a bad card to add to a Spellcaster deck. Because it takes... It's for everything in your graveyard. And it's level 1. So that could be added too, yeah. Alright, Spirit Ryu. Blackland Fire Dragon. This is an absolutely pure dragon deck. These things, if you want to start up a dragon deck, what I would recommend would be looking at the, it's a new, relatively new deck that came out, and it is called, what's it called? The code for it is YSKR, which stands for Yu-Gi-Oh! Starter Kaiba Reloaded. It's basically Kaiba's starter deck, but it's been updated with various new cards. And, whoops, losing my cards. And it's very good because it's a heavy focus on dragons. It only gives you 2 Blue Eyes dragons. If you look at the, if you look into the Premium Gold packs, I will link a video to them, then you have a chance actually to get a Premium Gold Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. This is actually how I got this card. So, and I found my 3rd Blue Eyes. I used to play a lot of this game a long time ago. So yeah, look at that. One of the single strongest cards in the whole game. And I have it, and I could use it. And it's very, very devastating to bring one of these things out. Because if you can't destroy this thing outright, you basically need effects to kill this thing. Because there's not really much else that you could kill it with. Like, I mean, 4,500 attack? I mean, come on. There's very few cards that can stand up to that. So, yeah. That's basically the Spellcaster deck. And what you could do with it. So, thank you guys for watching. If you have any more ideas for decks to build, I'm sure I have the cards for it. I need to stop cracking my bones. I'm gonna get arthritis before I know it. Then I can't play video games. No! So yeah, if you guys have any more ideas for decks, or if you want to see more videos like this, please remember to like this video, save to your favorites, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. It's kind of like a one-off thing. I'm going to be doing some reviews of Yu-Gi-Oh! Games very soon, so this is kind of the reason for that. So, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bandit, signing off.